This is section 5.1, day 1, solving systems by graphing. Our objective today is to solve systems of two linear equations in two variables by graphing the equations. Let's start with our new vocabulary. A system of equations is a set of two or more equations that have the same variables. Generally, they'll have x and y as their variables. The solution of a system is any ordered pair that satisfies all equations in the system. So it's any ordered pair that works for both equations, or all three equations, or all four. So we're going to solve by graphing today. We're going to start off by just graphing the two lines we're given. We're given y equals 2x minus 1 and y equals negative x plus 5. We're going to graph these both on the same graph. So for y equals 2x minus 1, remember our y-intercept is negative 1. We rise 2, run 1 because the slope is 2. And I recommend just making as many points as possible on your graph with that slope. Then we connect them with a line, as straight of a line as possible. And then we're going to graph the second one on the same graph. This one has a y-intercept of 5. Our slope is negative 1, so we go down 1, right 1, or up and left. And as many points as possible, so we have as straight of a line as possible. And draw our line. You'll notice these two lines cross. They cross right here. That point is 2, 3. So the solution of this system is 2, 3. Now we always have to check these. To check it, you'll plug 2 in for x and 3 in for y in both equations. So let's try 3 equals 2 times 2 minus 1, because x is 2, y is 3. So 3 equals 4 minus 1. 3 equals 3. Yes, it does. That one worked. Now we have to try the other equation. So y is 3 equals negative x, so negative 2 plus 5. Negative 2 plus 5 is 3. 3 equals 3, so it works. Our solution is 2, 3. Try this one. Graph the two lines, find the intersection, and then check. All right, for the first one, we start at negative 4 on the y-axis. Our slope is up to right 1. We make some points all across our graph, or down to left 1, and connect them with a line. Y equals negative 1/2 x plus 1. We start at 1 on the y-axis. We go down 1, right 2. Or up and left. And then we connect them with a line. You'll see that our lines intersect at the points 2, 0. So that should be our solution. Let's check. 0 equals 2 times 2 minus 4. So 0 equals 4 minus 4. So 0 equals 0. That one worked. Now let's try 0 equals negative 1/2 times 2 plus 1. Well, negative 1/2 times 2 is negative 1. Negative 1 plus 1 is 0, and it worked. All right, let's switch it up a little bit. Special notes really quick. Graphing accurately is super important. You need to use graph paper. You have to use at least 3 points. I recommend as many as you can fit. Use a ruler to draw nice straight lines. And the solution that satisfies the system needs an input and an output. So your solution will never be 3. Your solution could be 3, 5. Has to be a coordinate point. And then always check your work in both equations. So we're going to solve this system. We're actually not going to make a table. We're just going to graph it, because we have already talked about how to rewrite these equations. So x minus y equals 2. Well, we need to get y by itself. So we're going to subtract x off of both sides. So we have negative y equals negative x plus 2. And then we need to divide away that negative 1 that's hanging out in front of the y. So we're going to get y equals x minus 2. Let's graph that. We start at negative 2 on the y-axis. Our slope is 1, so we rise 1, run 1. Make all of our points there. and graph as neatly as possible. And then we look at the other equation, 2x plus y equals 1. Solve for y, we're going to subtract 2x off of each side. And we get y equals negative 2x plus 1. We start at plus 1 on the y-axis. We go down to right 1, down to right 1, down to right 1, or up and left, and make our line. We see here that they intersect at this point right here, which is 1 comma negative 1. That should be our answer. Let's check. Always check in the original equation. So x is 1 minus y is negative 1. Does that equal 2? Well, that's plus positive, so 2 equals 2, and it works. Then let's check in the second equation. 2 times x, which is 1, plus y, which is negative 1, equals 1. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 plus negative 1 is 1, so 1 equals 1, so it works. It worked for both, so that is our solution. Try this one. Negative x plus y equals negative 5, and 2x plus y equals 4. All right, to do this one, we need to rewrite the equation. We add x to both sides of the top equation, and we get y equals x minus 5. Start our graph at negative 5, and our slope is rise 1, run 1. Nice, careful graph there. And for the other one, we will subtract 2x off of each side. So we'll get y equals negative 2x plus 4. So we'll start at 4 on the y-axis. We'll go down to right 1. And draw our nice line for us. Whoops. That line was terrible. Now you see the importance of drawing a nice line because I missed my point and now I don't have a nice intersection. If I draw my line more neatly, there it goes. Now we can see that the solution is 1, 2, 3, negative 2. So it's 3, negative 2. Now let's check that. Negative x, so negative 3, plus y, which is negative 2, equals negative 5. Well, negative 3 plus negative 2 is negative 5, so it worked. 2 times x, which is 3, plus y, which is negative 2, equals 4. 2 times 3 is 6, plus negative 2. 6 plus negative 2 is 4. 4 equals 4, so it works. Our solution is 3, negative 2. Now let's try a word problem. You need to rent a video camera. Video Barn charges a $30 rental fee plus $35 per day. Allied Rental charges a $40 rental fee plus $30 per day. Which company should you choose and why? Let's write an equation. For Video Barn, we're going to write the equation y equals, well, 35 per day, there's our slope, 35x plus 30. For Allied Rental, our equation is going to be y equals 30 per day is our slope, 30x plus 45. Now to graph these, I want to switch my graph up a bit. I'm going to call this my y-axis, and across the bottom here my x-axis. I'm going to make each of these lines worth half. So 1, 2, skipping lines, everyone. 5, 6, 7. 7 should be enough. At the side, I'm going to go up by tens. So 10, 20, 30, 40, let's mark 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 10, 20, 30, 40, 150, 60, 70, 80, 90, 200, and that should be about enough. Now let's plot some points. 35x plus 30. So we're going to start at 30. But if we go up 35 over 1, well, I don't really like the 5s, but I can make this work. 10, 20, 35 over 1. 10, 20, 35 over 1. Remember, my 1 is actually 2 lines on here. 10, 20, 35 over 1. 10, 20, 30 over 1. do one more. 10, 20, 35, 1. There's my line for our video barn. Now for Allied Rental, I start at 45, and I go up 30. 10, 20, 30 over 1. 10, 20, 30 over 1. 20, 30 over 1. You'll see that these are very close. They're very close the whole way through. But you notice that they cross, and if your graph was just slightly neater than mine, you would see that they cross at 3. This point right here that I made, that was on both, but it didn't show up that way when I drew the lines. Comma, double check that, it should be 135. So when I double check my answer, let's double check this one just out loud quick. 135 equals 35 times 3 plus 30. Well, 35 times 3 is 105. 105 plus 30 is 135, so it works. Let's check in Allied Rental. 135 equals 30 times 3 plus 45. 30 times 3 is 90. 90 plus 45 is 135, so it works. Now, which company should you choose? It all depends how long you're going to rent your camera. So, if we're renting for less than 3 days, the red line is lower, which means we want to go to Video Barn. If we are renting for more than 3 days, the blue line is lower, which means we want to go to Allied Rental. You kind of have two answers for all of these because one is lower at the beginning, the other is lower after they cross. So now, to rent scooters, Sam's charges a $30 fee plus $8 per hour. Rosie's charges a $20 fee plus $10 per hour. Which company should the Morris family choose? Try this one on your own. All right, let's start with Sam's. For Sam's, we're going to get y equals 8x plus 30. And then for Rosie's, our equation will be y equals 10x plus 20. So let's change our graph again. So this is the y-axis and this is the x-axis. Let's skip lines across the bottom. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 should be enough. And then let's go up by 5 across the along the y-axis. The second line will be 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 110, and 120 at the top here. So 80x plus 30. I start at 30. Sorry, 8x plus 30. I go up 8 over 1. Well, my graph doesn't look too good for up 8 over 1. So I'm going to make this into multiples of 10. So 8 over 1 is equal to 80 over 10 or 40 over 5. So I can go up 40, 10, 20, 30, 40, and over 5. And I could do that again too, but I'm just going to make the 1 point for now. All right, for y equals 10x plus 20, start at 20. I go up 10, right 1. Remember, since I skipped lines, I'm actually going 2. Up 10, right 1, up 10, right 1, 10, right 1. Oh, look, there's the intersection. And if my lines were slightly more accurate, this would be a little more obvious. But you'll see that they intersected right here. That point is 570. So hopefully my solution is 570. Let's check it out loud really quick. 8 times 5 is 40. 40 plus 30 is 70, so that works. 10 times 5 is 50, plus 20 is 70, so that works. My answer, which company should the Morris choose? The Morris families choose. So if they want less then 5 hours, they should choose the purple, which is Rosie's. If they want more than 5 hours, they want the red, which is Sam's. Your assignment is page 150, numbers 5 through 15.